Hey everybody, Joe here. Thanks for joining me tonight. Let's roll some dice, see how it goes. Opponent wins. Let's pass it over to him. This looks like a pretty decent hand. I'm going to want to draw another blue source, but being on the draw makes this a reasonable keep. Okay. So, tap Hallowed Fountain or untap Hallowed Fountain? Okay, going down to 18 to suspend an Ancestral Vision. We can immediately see that our Spreading Seas is going to be a little less valuable than it might be against something like Jund. We drew a second blue source, so that's going to help us actually play our spells. See if the opponent is going to play anything other than blue and white mana. Well, colorless mana, I guess that's something different. AEther Vial. Little late to the game. What to play this turn? What to play? I mean, I don't know. If they have a Remand, then I'll be able to play the AEther Vial out again. If they have Mana Leak, then I won't be able to play it out again. Let's see here. Could Spreading Seas their only... I guess playing a Ghost Quarter, the idea is that they might want to, they might not have other colored mana, but I can't miss the opportunity to play AEther Vial here. Mana Leak, well that hurts. Okay. Sometimes the AEther Vial is not, you know, not the... Okay, so he has a second land here, or a third land, a second colored source. Ancestral Vision continues ticking down. Silvergill Adept will help us with card advantage. Merrow Reejerey will probably just get pathed in this spot. But he could net us a fair amount of value if he sticks around on the board. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna go for cards here instead of lords. I'll play that guy and I'll reveal Merrow Reejerey because I have to. All right, well, getting these counters out of the opponent's hand would have been nice to have drawn Cavern of Souls this game. Okay, so no fourth land. I think we may have been right in reading this Ghost Quarter as the opponent top decking lands. He's going to have plenty of cards after resolving this though next turn. So what's the play here? A little bit clunky, my mana. If I play Spreading Seas, then I have no other plays except something like Echoing Truth. I can attack with Mutavault, and let's see, play a Lord and attack with Mutavault? Yeah, I guess that seems reasonable. Let's just check his graveyard here. I think it's 2 Mana Leaks. All right. This guy and his Mana Leaks. This is crazy. Okie dokie. Mutavault it is. Okay, so he's going to go from 3 up to 7 guards right now. And while that's pretty disgusting, I don't know. I don't feel out of it yet. There's that 4th land. We haven't seen any red mana yet, so it's possible this... Well, I'm pretty sure this is just blue-white at this point. Okay, Vendilion Click, no problem. Strange to do it now rather than on my draw step. Alright, he's going to ship Reejerey to the bottom of my library. He's going to move that to the bottom of the library and then draw a card. Alright, well that's a decent card against this deck. It would have been much better if I had it earlier. Also a reasonable card. So, let's see. I can't imagine not playing this Cavern here. So that'll be my land drop for the turn. I think I'll play the Cursecatcher first. And then if he tries to spell snare my Spreading Seas, I think I'll just counter it with Cursecatcher. I want to hit his Celestial Colonnade to take him off of one of his win conditions. Alright, so let's go ahead and attach this to the Celestial Colonnade. We draw another land. Things not going amazingly well here. I think I might want to just attack with this Mutavault. I think a trade or damage is good in either case. Okay. So continuing the plan against control. Opponent's going to swing back at me. Maybe he'll Supreme Verdict my Cursecatcher. Doesn't play a land. Probably sitting on Cryptic Command mana. Another Cursecatcher. So play a Cursecatcher and attack with both Mutavaults. He can block one of them with a Snapcaster, but there's nothing really in his graveyard. I guess he could... I can't really Path and then Snap and then Path. Doesn't have the mana for that. Or does he? If he taps this for white and then destroys it with Ghost Quarter, he could then cast Path to Exile with the floated white and play Snapcaster, and then using the planes he got from Ghost Quarter, cast Path to Exile again. But I've got these Cursecatchers, so just go ahead and play those. All right, and I think this is really my only choice here. He's got a ton of cards in his hand. Okay, this is really weird. Just ask him for the modes just to see what's important to him right now. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Just going to take 5 here, go from 13 down to 8. And we'll just hope that the opponent stays stuck on mana for a little while. I have to imagine that's just a straight up misplay by the opponent. Doesn't attack with the Vendilion Click this turn. I think he realized the error of his ways there. Not drawing any cards this turn, so we can go ahead and make our land drop. I can't see the dismembering Vendilion Click is terrible here. He could easily counter it, in which case I'd pay for it. If it's another Mana Leak, he's got 3 in the graveyard, but if he Snapcaster Mana Leaks, I could still pay for it. So let's start with that. My trackpad has been a little bit annoying. Okay, so it doesn't even try anything here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. If he blocks with a Snapcaster or something, I have to say I don't really care about that. Okay, so he's going to destroy one of my Mutavaults. Sorry. So this is going to get destroyed. No problem. Taking the opponent further off of lands. Oh, what's going on with this? Oh, so he's going to take 4 to dismember my Mutavault. That's bold. All right. Take 1 more from the Cursecatcher. At this point, I think it's just correct to play the Harbinger. Do I want to counter this and keep the opponent off of card draw? I won't have lethal next turn anyway. Cryptic Command is more important to counter. If he's going to remand this, I'll just let it come back to my hand. I'll be able to resolve it next turn with Cavern of Souls. So the opponent cycles a remand. He's sitting on 3 lands. He should probably have something like 7 or 8 by now. Especially with that Ancestral Vision that he resolved. Come on, Master of Waves. Harbinger of Tides is okay. I think I might start by attacking with the Cursecatcher. Okay, opponent goes down to 2. I can dig it, and maybe just an end step uncounterable Harbinger sounds good to me. Keep the opponent inefficient with his mana. Okay, Tech Edge, pretty decent. Going to be able to get rid of my Cavern here, but in response, I can bring in this Harbinger guy. Chooses not to do it, so but can pay for Cursecatcher's tax if he tries to cryptic my guys. All right, so that guy resolves. Opponent still has 5 cards in his hand. Got to be pretty good. AEther Vial, not that amazing. Let's see if we can go to combat. Should I try to Echoing Truth this guy? What is this Echoing Truth going to do for me? No, I think we're just going to let him get exiled, and then I can flash in another guy at the end of the turn, at the end of the opponent's turn. Get another island. So many islands. I'll go to the second main. I'll try to cast AEther Vial. See if this guy wants to counter my AEther Vial. It's pretty late. This is a very traditional blue-white control. I haven't seen any like Wall of Omens though, or Sun Titan or anything like that. Okay, the Cursecatcher ground him into the into the table. All right, unlock the sideboard. Bring in the 6 counter spells. Bring in the 2 Relic of Progenitus. Take out the 2 Dismember, take out the Echoing Truth, take out 4 Spreading Seas, and then take out 1 Harbinger. Okay, so we have a lot of counter magic now, and take them off of some of the value they try to generate with their graveyard. All right. AEther Vial with no lands. Unfortunately, going to have to mulligan this. That's reasonable. I wish I'd had a Cavern of Souls. I'll view the top of my library. Another land. No thanks. Move that to the bottom and wish for the best. Island. Go. Another land. So... yeah, open with a blue source. Sea Chrome and a pass. Having some weird issues with my trackpad. Another land. This is not starting off so very well. Can play an island, and I guess let's lead off with a Harbinger. Should get some beats on the ground. If he wants to use a Mana Leak on this, that's fine. Maybe a Path. Hard to say what not countering that could mean. It could mean he doesn't have a counter. It could also mean that he just doesn't think it's worth countering. Okay, so I'm going to attack here, and then probably follow up with Silvergill Adept. Mutavault into Silvergill Adept seems reasonable. Probably want to counter this. I'm going to reveal, I guess, an Island Walk Lord here. Okay, so he's going to mono-leak the Silvergill Adept. So that was pretty clever. I think it was wise saving the mono-leak. Another Mutavault is nice. I think here I'm just going to activate my Mutavault and attack. Let's see what the opponent wants to do. I guess he had Cryptic Mana up, but I didn't wait for it. Doesn't seem to mind. So now there's a question about whether I want to play my fourth land. I think I'm going to play a second Mutavault here and just pass to the opponent. I wasn't planning on playing anything second main phase, so it didn't really matter that I tapped an island to activate my Mutavault. If the opponent wants to trade one of his lands for one of my lands, that's fine. He's going to choose to path my Mutavault after taking damage. All right. People seem to enjoy doing that. If you're going to path it, just path it before you take the damage. Well, now he has the path in the graveyard, which is scary because of Snapcaster Mage. All right, so at this point, we're going to play a Island Walk Lord, maybe two. And Snapcaster can path one of them, but not all. Well, let's see if the first one resolves. He knows about this one. I revealed it for the Silvergill. Then to activate Mutavault or to not activate Mutavault. Let's just attack with the Harbinger for now. Okay. Pathing the Lord is fine. View my library, get yet another land. And then there's a decision to be made about whether I want to use this mana to play the Reejerey. That's part of the reason not to attack with the Mutavault. Let's see. No, I think I'm doing okay. He's not really threatening me right now. I really love Mutavault in this matchup. Have to be careful though once he gets enough mana to block with Celestial Colonnade. Seachrome Coast comes into play tapped. The opponent still does not have enough mana to block with Celestial Colonnade. I drew another Island Walk Lord, which is great. I'm not going to have mana Sorry, I'm not going to be drawing any cards this turn, so I'm just going to play my island now. Don't have to think about it too much. So I think I'm just going to stick with the line I've been on. Play an Island Walk Lord, see if it resolves. Opponent is thinking about it. Apparently thinking about it. All right. So he's going to resolve. And I think this time I will activate the Mutavault. We didn't see a Snapcaster into the path last time, so... Oh, well, let's go to... Okay. Looks like he's going to Tech Edge my Mutavault. Fair enough. Attack with the Tidebinder. And is this a snap path now? Okay, that works. Good value. So that's why I bring in Relic of Progenitus. We're going to trade creatures. And I think I'll play out the Reejerey here and end my turn. Okay, the opponent still without mana to be able to activate Celestial Colonnade. You're going to tap 2 mana here for what? 5 mana for Gideon Jura. He's going to 8. Creatures attack Gideon Jura if able. Interesting. So, if he's tapped, does that mean that I can't attack him? I think I can still attack him. I mean, it's kind of a weird question, right? Like, if he's... Because my creatures are able to attack, and I don't think that tapping Planeswalkers really does anything. The opponent has 2 cards in hand. It's quite possible one of them is a Supreme Verdict. He can destroy a tapped creature. This guy's going to have to attack Gideon Jura, but then I can untap him after I play a Master of the Pearl Trident. Which is, I think, what I'm going to do. He can just keep plussing this guy. Plussing him, though, doesn't really do anything. He doesn't have an ultimate. He can just turn into a human soldier. Gideon Jura. Alright, I've still got that Echoing Truth in my deck. Alright, so if I play both of my Masters out now, I get to attack this guy. Sorry, if I play one of them, attack, then I'll play another one and untap him. Gideon Jura won't be able to destroy one of my creatures. If he pluses again, I'll be at 7. He'll be dead next turn after that. It's getting to that point where control is just going to pull away if I don't go for it. So I'm going to play a Lord here. Untap a land. Attack Gideon. Okay. And then I will play another Lord. And untap Merrow Reejerey. And just hope the opponent doesn't have a Supreme Verdict. If they do, then I'm just screwed. No Spreading Seas here for extra devotion if I draw a Master of Waves. Okay, he's going up from 5 to 7. That's the last time he's going to get to do anything, though, unless the opponent has more paths or more Snapcasters. Even if Celestial Colonnade can block now, he can't just because of Island Walk. My creatures are all 4/4s. Island is not that amazing. Alright. Well, this stinks because now he can tap my team. Okay, so they're all tapped, and he's going to draw a card. And I think Gideon's going to get to destroy somebody now. Sad stuff. Gideon is a rough dude. Alright, Supreme Verdict. This guy's indestructible, and with Celestial Colonnade, I think that just about does it. I'll concede. Does he have Vigilance? I guess not. I guess it doesn't really matter. So the opponent seemed a little bit inexperienced in Game 1, running Cryptic Commands into Cursecatchers. Maybe he just felt that that's what he had to do. This is awkward, but it's a keep, I think. Going to play Mutavault first, potentially just attack with him next turn. And I might play Cavern Naming Spirits. I just might. Though not yet. Not yet. See if I can get the opponent to tap out on his turn. I don't know what would make him do that. These caverns are extremely precious in these matchups. We saw in game 1, I think I got wrecked by counterspells, Mana Leak after Mana Leak. Alright. I think I really have to resolve this Kira, and I can just keep hitting with her and Mutavault. Yeah, I'm going to name spirits. I'm going all out. Hopefully I will top deck another Cavern naming Merfolk. The opponent drew a card and plays a Flooded Strand for the turn. He does play Vendilion Click, so that could be a surprise blocker for Kira. Otherwise, Kira is a really great clock against these control decks. He's tapping 2 mana for double path on Kira. So I think it was the correct play. Fair enough. I'll go get a land. What was that? Freaking trackpad. Alright, so come on. Alright. Shuffle the library after I get my island. The opponent wasted 2 paths on Kira. I'm gonna untap. Go to my draw step. Counterspell. No card drawing effects in the hand, so I can play my land. So the opponent has this up representing something like a spell snare, right? I can attack. I can play a Lord. He could try to spell snare it, and then I could negate it. Or I could just run out a Master of Waves. He's going to buff the Mutavault. Might even inspire him to use a Supreme Verdict on one creature. Let's see how it goes. I mean, it's possible he has Snapcaster in hand, so he was happy to use both of those paths. It was super aggressive. We do have Negate up next turn, though he's not going to have Cryptic Command mana next turn. He might have Snapcaster Path. He might try to be sneaky and wait until my turn to use that, having not seen any counter magic out of me yet. Alright, so that's going to enter tapped. Alright, he passes the turn. So as long as we play carefully, Snapcaster Path is not a big threat. Alright, so here I can't play the second Master because then I won't have Negate mana up, but I think I'm going to play Lord of Atlantis and then swing with Master of Waves. Is that correct? Yeah, seems decent. Spell Snare, I'm going to negate that. Alright, so no more mana for Snapcaster, so I'll just attack with both of these guys. It's going to take 3+2 for going from 17 down to 12. Alright, so now he might use Supreme Verdict, which is not crazy. It would just be a 2-for-1. Ghost Quarter kind of stinks. I like my Mutavaults. Jace, Architect of Thought. I think this is the guy that makes piles. Look at this tiny, tiny text. Until your next turn, whenever a creature an opponent controls attacks, it gets -1, -0 until the end of turn. Alright, so my dudes are a little bit tinier if they attack until his next turn. He left Ghost Quarter up. I'm going to be able to push some damage even through that ridiculous Jace. What is his ultimate? For each player, search that player's library for a non-land card, exile it. I'm going to shuffle my library. He can cast How many cards? Oh, he can cast that card without paying its mana cost. And his -2 is to make the piles. So as it stands, I could swing with 2 power, 1 power, and 1 power. That's 4 total to get Jace off the table. But I think I'm much more concerned about the opponent's life total here. I've got multiple lords, and might want to keep the master in hand here. Force him to use his Ghost Quarter on my Mutavault. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to play Master of the Pearl Trident. I'll activate Mutavault. And I'm going to attack his life total with everybody. So he hits the Mutavault. I get to get a land. So this is going to be, it would be, let's see, this is 4, but it's 3 and 2 and 1. 3, 2, and 1 should be 6. Went from 12 down to 6. All right. This guy knows him some math. And yeah, I don't think I need to play any more creatures right now. Doesn't really do anything for me. Still doesn't have Cryptic Command mana. That Ghost Quarter could have helped him with that, potentially. Looks like he's going to minus Chase now. I think he gets to reveal the top 3 and make 2 piles. No, I get to make the piles. What are these cards? All right, so a lot of good stuff here. So as I said, it doesn't have Cryptic mana. So Path to Exile is pretty good. Snapcaster is going to be able to get that. Let's see. Snapcaster to one side. And Cryptic Command. This is the most insane Jace activation I think I've ever seen. Cryptic Command and Dismember on the other? Jesus, that's terrible. Super duper terrible. So, he gets to put 1 into his hand. So I'm thinking he doesn't have a land here, otherwise he would just snap take the Cryptic Command. He might think that it's kind of uncastable. Might make him want to take this Snapcaster Mage. He's not shrinking my creatures here. So he's got a lot of power coming at him. Alright, so he puts Snapcaster Mage on the bottom. He's going to take Cryptic Command and Dismember. Oh, he played a land. Alright, so come on, Counterspell. Can't complain about Mutavault. The opponent's at 6. And Mutavault plays nicely around Cryptic Command. Let's see if I can go to attacks. Alright, opponent goes down to 5. Cracking the Flooded Strand, gets an island, and I have to expect that Cryptic Command is going to come out now. Tap draw. That works. I can't activate Mutavault yet since I just played him. Opponent has too many cards in his hand for my tastes. But with all these creatures on the table, there's no justification for playing out more. Does have that Dismember still in his hand. And this Jace could continue to just generate value. Important to note that the Mutavault by himself is lethal with Island Walk. Although the opponent... What is he scooping for? Well, Dismember, I see. So Dismember... Alright, so Dismember, I wasn't really thinking about it. He's not playing Esper. He has no access to black mana. So Dismember was pretty much a dead card. He had 2 Dismembers in hand with 2 counter spells. Alright, so that was blue-white control. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the match. Please leave some comments if you have anything to say. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will catch you next time. Thanks again.